Title chasers Warwickshire grabbed 4 wickets for 19 runs late on the first day of their LV County Championship match with Sussex in Horsham after debutant Craig Cachopa and Wright had threatened to take the game away from the visitors in the early stages. Ed Joyce won the toss and decided to bat, and his side, which began this match rather too close to the relegation places, made a promising start through Chris Nash and Luke Wells on what looked to be a dry wicket that would take turn later on. That made it a good toss to win, and these two openers were making the most of the conditions as they put on 68 runs for the first wicket in the opening 19 overs of this important game at both ends of the First Division table. Wells was the first to fall after making 35 as he was undone by some movement from Ricky Clark, who found the inside edge of Wells' bat. Nash saw out their morning session, which ended with Sussex on 99 for 1 and the batsman approaching his 50. Joyce has not been at the top of his game in recent weeks, and he played on a ball from Keith Barker early in the afternoon session to go for 16. Nash had made 58 off 90 balls when he too was out, Barker in a rich vein of form with the ball at the moment, trapping him in front with a total on 120 for 3. Sussex had given a debut to Cachopa, a South African-born player who plays for Auckland and qualifies as a non-overseas player through his Portuguese passport. His first innings in Championship cricket began rather well with these boundaries. He had an ideal partner at the other end in the form of Wright, another who is playing some very good cricket at the moment. He showed off his confidence with glorious drives off Chris Wokes as Sussex began to put the loss of those 2 wickets after lunch behind them. There was an excellent crowd of nearly 3,000 spectators at this picturesque outground, and these 2 batsmen began to offer them plenty of entertainment. Cachopa was sitting in Paris when Nash, a teammate of his in Auckland, called him, and he has now signed a 2-year deal with Sussex, and he showed why they wanted his signature. He dealt almost exclusively in boundaries, his shots of aggression mixed with a solid defensive technique. He and Wright began to match each other stroke for stroke as their partnership began to develop into something rather meaningful. Wright was first to his 50, the 4th time he's got that far this summer. He'd needed 72 balls to get to this one, and it was reached with his 10th boundary, this one off Jitan Patel, who got through 19 overs on the first day. That shot also brought up the 100-run partnership. 2 balls later, and Cachopa was also at his half-century, which arrived off 89 deliveries. This was his 12th boundary, as these 2 batsmen reserved their energy by scoring a large percentage of their runs in 4s. Thanks to these 2, Sussex were able to go to tea well placed on 230 for 3. They were getting themselves into a strong position, and these 2 looked to make it an even stronger one in the evening as they continued to impress on a pitch which didn't offer too much assistance to the Warwickshire attack. Boyd Rankin was convinced at one stage that he had Wright caught in the gully, and there was an exchange of words and some bumpers that followed. But Wright and his 22-year-old partner maintained their form as they took the total to 294 and their partnership to 174 with 11 overs of the day remaining. Some extra bounce with the second new ball saw Cachopa edge Wokes to Clark to go for a fine 84, and Warwickshire then ended the day extremely well. 5 overs later, Wright chased a wide one from Barker and nicked behind to go for 89. He received a couple of words in his ear as he walked off. Stefan Pilot had settled in for half an hour before he trod on his own stumps, turning a ball from Wokes to leg, the umpire noticing they had been broken before any of the Warwickshire players had seen it. And then Chris Jordan dragged a ball from Rankin back onto his stumps after making 4. It was just what the visitors needed after a largely tough day in the field, and they'll hope that they can finish the Sussex innings off quickly on the second morning. The home team will go again on 314 for 7, but it could have been so much better for them.